All right, welcome to the YouTube channel of FanCom. It is your boy AJ Francis. I am here today with the one, the only NFL Hall of Famer, John Randle. This man has 137 and a half. I'm not going to get him out the half. Career sacks. Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, and a member of the undrafted free agent nation, UDFA Nation. What's good? That's us. We out here. It's a pleasure to be honest with you, and it's a pleasure to talk to you this morning. How are you today, John?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you look good too. You look like you can still get in the three technique, come off, and put something on Brady in the Super Bowl if they need.
You know what? If I went out there, I would embarrass myself, my family. So me being an old man, I wouldn't want to do that. So from now, I'm just a great fan of the game, and I enjoy watching the Vikings do their thing.
So it's funny because why with guys like you and Brent Grimes and Cam Wake and James Harrison, I was going to say myself, but I don't belong in that category. Why do you think so many GMs miss on such great players and they end up going undrafted?
Well, that's due because of the history of the game. I remember when I first got in the league back in the day, everybody had a certain size that they wanted a defensive tackle to be. And most guys wanted them to be 6'5", 6'6", and that was kind of the prototype size. And most people, when you look at a guy that's 6'6", versus a guy that's 6'1" or 6'2", first thing you come to mind is, well, he's bigger, he should have more success. And you and I both know the game is so different from that. It's not about the size. It's the size of the fight inside the dog, which we always say. So for me, that was the stereotype that a lot of guys my size had to fight against. And that's the game has definitely evolved.
Oh no. Game evolved.
Yes, the game has evolved. It's so much better to make it to where it gives guys of small stature a chance to play and to perfect their craft, and to where a game where so many guys, Brian Young, Dana Stubblefield, Russell Maryland, just name a few guys that we all used to sit around and talk about it, how, man, wouldn't it be nice to be 6'5", 6'6", but then you say, you know what, if I was 6'5", 6'6", maybe I wouldn't play as hard. So, you know what? It's a great game, but it's a game that levels the playing field. You can take a 6'2" guy versus a 6'6" guy, and that 6'2" guy is going to come out on top.
Yeah, as a 6'5" guy, I'll just say the one thing that people don't realize when you're 6'5" is flying is terrible.
Yeah.
But that's some people don't really take into account. You are in Kent. You got the yellow jacket. Where were you when you got your Hall of Fame call?
I was actually at home. Was watching the Golf Channel. My wife and my daughter was actually watching it, and I heard him screaming from the other room, and I said either that's a good thing or a bad thing. And she came in the room smiling, and from that point, I knew that I had just made the Hall of Fame.
I always found it funny when I would watch you play. Most of your games, especially home games, were indoors.
Yeah.
Did you intentionally do the eye black to look like the Cape Crusader, or was that just like you made it a mask, or how did that even?
Well, it kind of was kind of by accident how we did it. Was kind of a thing where we were just some guys putting on face paint, and I was kind of sitting in the other side of the room on game day and watching these guys as they were doing it, just kind of rubbing my eyes, going, I just can't believe they're doing this. But back in the day, man, to be truthful to you, we call Young Guns, and with Emilio Estevez, and he was so cool in that movie with the paint and stuff, and we used to sit around and just say, we're like Emilio Estevez, we're Young Guns, we're gonna make people famous, we're gonna beat them so bad, and the paint just became part of my resume of going out in the game to get me in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, That's awesome. I mean, it's iconic. I honestly think of all the eye blacks that people have done, like yours is the most iconic and probably in NFL history, and that's a testament to you as a player as well.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
You always knew Case Keenum was going to win that game last week, right?
You know what? For me, I always look at it like this. I'm a Vikings fan now, and I always bleed purple. I wear purple every Friday to my workouts. I got my purple workout shoes, so I always believe in the purple, no matter what. I tell people this all the time. If you believe in something, then definitely you go with it all the way, because that's the way my career was. I believed in I was going to make it in the National Football League. Therefore, I was committed to it. When you commit to something that you believe in, dude, you go all out for it.
And on that last play,
yes,
I played in college with Stephon Diggs. And I've said this on this, in every other interview I've ever talked about him before. Stephon Diggs was the best player that I ever played with when I was in college. And he was a freshman, and he was still the best player I ever played with. And I knew that his career would be how it is in the NFL today. What ran through your mind when you saw him catch that ball and running up the sideline?
That other way of looking at it is like this, that everything that Stephon Diggs had done has led up to that play right there. Because you think about that play. I mean, after he scored, because I was sitting so close up on the TV watching it. And but when he scored, it just all came to a point to say, you know what? Yes, that's for every fan out there who's believed in the Minnesota Vikings since 1961, since the day that Max Winter believed that the Minnesota Vikings were going to be a team, that there was a team to be reckoned with. So, man, it just everything all came together for the fans out there who've been believing in Minnesota, who've never given up what that was for.
And it's funny you say that, because I was actually on the Seahawks when Blair Walsh missed that field goal in the playoffs in 2015. Exact opposite reaction from all the Minnesota fans. And this is deserved because of instances like that over the years.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'll tell you something that for a defensive lineman, this is something that sticks in the defensive lineman head, and it'll resonate with you. My coach used to tell me, you're going to rush the quarterback over 300 sometimes, but you're only going to get there maybe 10 times or one time, you know. So I used to stick in my head going, I'm going to do that. How many times? He goes, you're going to rush it over 300 times. You don't know when you're going to get there, but you got to keep going. Like every time it's going to happen. And that's what it's like for a fan. You have to believe and believe, because you don't know when it's going to happen. Because in training camp, everybody sets out to say, you know what, we're going to be in the playoffs, but it doesn't happen. But every year, it's training camp, it's that same old thing again. Everybody gets all suited up, putting your pads on, you're stretching, and you're hoping that you're going to make it.
You back? Are you good?
But you don't know when you're going to get there. So keep rushing, eventually you'll get there.
Yeah, and it's funny, it's always – Brent Grimes earlier, he's a really good friend of mine. We played in Miami and Tampa. And he always used to say, D lineman got it easy, because if you just get one sack a game, you can lose 59 reps, get one sack, and you'll go to the whole team. True, I guess you're right. It doesn't really happen like that, but that is the case.
But still, though, you don't know when you're going to get there. It's like I used to tell guys, I go, it's like open the door. Nope. It's there. Nope, it's not there. It's there. Nope. And that's like.
Yep. What would a Super Bowl in Minnesota featuring the Minnesota Vikings mean to that city?
It's a huge, huge honor for us, because, first of all, you know, most people talk about Minnesota in the summer, how beautiful it is. This gives us a chance for people to come out and see the Twin Cities in the wintertime. And I know everybody, it's going to be cold. But you got to realize, for how many people live here in Minnesota, they must be clued in on some reason to live here. And it gives us a chance to show off the Twin Cities and so many things that we have going on around here. But most of all, it's about showing the rest of the world how wonderful the Midwest is and how beautiful it is to see purple all the time.
First time I went to Minnesota, we played the Vikings when I was on the Seahawks, and I was downtown. To me, how there's these like two bridges that connect the buildings because nobody wants to go outside when it's negative 1,000 degrees outside.
We call those skyways. That's the skyway system.
It
makes it a lot easier for you to walk through skyways, but you can walk outside. But we would prefer for you to be inside on skyways.
Yeah, for sure. I got to get this from you. What is your prediction? What do you think is the key components of this weekend's game for the Vikings to come out on top?
Oh my God! You know what? The key components are first of all going to be turnovers. We gotta limit our turnovers. Then I think second of all, we've got to put our special teams out there so the special team can when we get the ball and have good field position. Another one of the huge factors for it is our offensive line has got to be dominant. I mean, we've got to open some holes for our running backs so we can take some pressure off Case Keenum. And, if Case out there and the game is not on his back, that makes it a lot easier for him. And I think, for me personally, if the defensive lineman, if I know a quarterback is out there going, just doesn't really have to throw that ball as much, that frustrates me. And but I think the other part about it is we've got to stop Eagles from running the ball.
Yes.
And they've got some running backs, one in particular, because I don't like saying our opponents' names, but they got a running back over there that, man, he would give me nightmares. So luckily I don't have to play against that guy. But if we can keep him under control and put the quarterback, making him throw some plays that will make him have him do some stuff that he know he can't do, because he didn't go through training camp thinking that he was going to be the starter at this point of this season. Nope. He didn't think about it. So we can do that, and then we'll be celebrating here in Minnesota.
I think the key will be, like you said, stopping the run. If they can stop the run and make Nick Foles have to beat them.
Yes.
That's a better opportunity. Because there's been a lot of good quarterbacks that have played the Vikings defense this year and not been able to perform well.
Yes.
And if Nick Foles is the reason you lose, tip your hats off to the Eagles. It's just there's nothing else you can do about that.
Exactly, yeah. Like I said, I can't mention their names. I don't like mentioning their opponents' names. I'm not that type of guy. I was known for, before the games, I was known for not coming out there and shaking my opponent's hand because I don't want to give them any pluses. So I'll just say that we can put that quarterback in a position where he's going to put all the pressure on his shoulders. In training camp, he didn't ever thought about, I'm going to be starting in the playoffs. I'm going to be holding this team down. It never came to his mind.
Never once.
Never once.
How has the FanCom experience been for you? Talking to the fans, talking to other players. How's it been for you?
It's been really exceptional. As a guy, I've just kind of got on Twitter, and it's been a new experience for me. As me being one of the old school guys, but doing this on FanCom has really been so cool because it has enabled me to talk to people not of guys who are in their 20s and 30s, but it's given me an audience of a younger group of people. And we always talk about this in the National Football League, is that the game is about connecting. And we're connecting grandfathers with sons and sons with grandsons. And this FanCom has definitely allowed me to talk to a younger group of people around the world, to engage them and to, if anything, to give them some little advice to further them in life, to maybe possibly get them to be a Minnesota Vikings fan in different parts of the country, especially in those places where it's just so sunny right now.
Yeah, it'll be difficult to argue against them jerseys. I love them jerseys. I got them new jerseys that the Vikings got are a 10.
Dude, they you know what?
They're a 10.
They're 10. I just got myself one of them. And so I had to do that. I had to.
You is one of the best trash talkers in the history of the game.
Well, thank you.
Seen the NFL films, ones from the '90s. I've seen those. Who did you respect as a trash talker when you were playing?
Who's the best? Who's the best trash talker? My God, you know what? Shannon Sharp was up there. Chris Carter was a good one. So you got Chris Carter in practice every day. Man, you can learn so much. You know, when he was trash talking to somebody, I would say something like, "Hey, Chris, you don't mind if I borrow that one right there, would you?" Okay, I'm gonna borrow that one. Thanks, CC.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro. I'm gonna put a patent on that one.
That's awesome. Last question before I get you out of here. It's selfish, but I had to do this. I just came off my 5th season in the NFL. It's gonna be my 6th season coming up. Like you, it's been a grind for me, just like it was for you starting out. What advice could you give me to have a career that lasts as long as yours?
Say it again.
I'm on my 6th year in the league. I was undrafted just like you. It's been difficult for me, just like it was difficult for you starting out. What advice could you give me and other guys like me, undrafted guys who maybe don't get their opportunity that they think they deserve? What advice can you give them and myself?
Oh, that's easy. You know what? Here's what I would tell you. Go out, treat every day as if it was your last day at this craft, because you don't know when your last day is. So for me, every day, it's a guy named Matt Burt. Matt Burt used to say the same thing about me. He goes, "Man, you're going so hard like they're about to cut you." And I said, "Matt, you never know when they're going to cut you." I go, "You know what?
Yeah.
You come into this game looking for a job. You'll leave this game looking for a job." And I go, when you go out there, only thing that's going to be left of you is the films, the tapes of what you've done out here while you're playing football. And you want somebody else to turn on that tape 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now and say, "You know what? That guy right there, man, he gave it his all." Because you know what? For an undrafted guy, you got to realize that, you know what, he said, "I'm lucky to be here. But once I get in this party, I'm going to dance. I'm not going to stand on the side of the wall and just watch everybody else dance. I want to get out there. I want to show them that I can dance too." So remember that.
Yeah, appreciate you. I am going to say this now. I think Minnesota wins 24. I think is going to happen. I think that you are going to get a home game in the Super Bowl, which is unheard of. It's never been done before.
Yeah.
And it'll be a hell of an experience.
Well, I'm taking it one game at a time. And so if we can go out there and do what we got to do, get this done, we'll have this interview afterwards and we can talk about what it's going to be like. So if it would be, we had to get like Ric Flair, baby, like that Nature Boy. So
yeah, I feel you. Appreciate you for taking the time out. Appreciate you for even just this conversation has been very dope for me. I mean, I grew up a fan of yours, and it's crazy to me that this even happened. But thank you for your time. Stay warm out there because I know it's cold.
I'm a Viking, baby. I'm a Viking. I can stay warm. Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. FanCom, it's been dope. I'll see you next time. Holla at me. I'm going to stop the broadcast now.